What is happening, YouTube? Carter here. Got another unboxing for you. I know it's out of control. I promise I will be calming down on the unboxings someday. We're going to be using the AD-15 from Cold Steel. Andrew Demko design. Beautiful knife. Cool lock. Absolutely love it. I'm going to start collecting all of the Andrew Demko locks. Ideally, it would be customs, USA made stuff, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe one day. But this is from Cold Steel. Really like this knife. And this, my friends, this is a package. It's a box. It's made of cardboard, and it contains something inside that I purchased and was sent to me via FedEx, who did a great job on this shipping, by the way. Right there, FedEx ground. It actually didn't take too terribly long to get here. Let's see if we can get inside this box before you guys get bored and move on, or I destroy it. Why is this not opening? Okay, I'm opening this wrong. So I will not be reusing this box for items that I sell because apparently I just don't know how to open things. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, there is the box. Let's yeet it. Let's yeet this over here. Yeet. All right, it's been yeeted. Unwrap this. What do we got? You guys can guess. Think you can tell? Oh, look at that. Another Microtech. Who would have thought I would purchase a Microtech? Of all things, me, of all people, would buy a Microtech. So before I open this, I apologize. I know some people are like, get to the knife, show the freaking knife. I'm 2 minutes in. Skip to minute 3. I'm sure I'll be looking at the knife by then. But this is something that I've always wanted. Not necessarily this version, but the original version, the part 1 of this knife, I always wanted since I was a wee lad and I very first saw it. Well, honestly, let's be truthful. When I bought my first OTF clone, it was a clone of the original version of this knife. In fact, a lot of OTF clones are based off this knife. I'm sure by now you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that is the Microtech SCARAB. Woo! And here it is. What a frickin' beauty. What is that? I will have to take a look at what that white schmutz is. I'm not sure if that's... It almost looks like it's a little bit of debris kind of crammed in between the two sides there. There it is. Right there. Microtech SCARAB. Classic drop point design. This is the SCARAB 2, obviously. The SCARAB 1 has not been around for a long time. Oh, I love this thing. I love this button. I love how it's wider. It's basically the same width as the Dirac Delta that I love so very much. It's just such a better button. But unfortunately, it's just too big to fit on the Combat Troodon. So that uses a thinner button, and I just really like how my big, fat, beefy thumbs can fit in this thing. This is perfect. It was sold as BNIB, and it appears to be BNIB. Everything looks good on it. Perfect Microtech action. This has M390 that they use right now. Looks like factory edge, as it should be. What serial number do we have on here? I think it says on the blade. No, it doesn't. Let's close it before I stab myself. Serial number 1170. And this one was made in 2 of 21. So this should have the single spring in it as opposed to the 2 spring setup that was in the earlier models. Really like this one. It's cool for a few different reasons. It's got some history. It's one of the early OTFs that Microtech did, and it's got a lot of badassery around it, right? The concept here is that it was built for elite forces, underwater forces. So this is built to be an underwater knife, essentially, which is why you have these cool grooves right here, as well as holes or slots in the opening here. That is to prevent water lock. So basically water from entering in and then it's not able to fire because of suction and things like that. How truthful that is, I have no idea. It'd be cool to do an underwater test on this and an underwater test on a knife that doesn't have that and see if there's anything to that. It might just be gimmick. And if it is, that's fine because it still looks cool having these on there. I think it looks really cool. I also love the groove on the spine. And that's something you don't really see in pictures when you're buying online. They don't usually show the top of it. It's very cool, very unique, and has a cool look. The other thing that's cool about this knife is it uses traditional hex screws on the frame as opposed to the proprietary ones, so it's a lot easier to work on yourself if you are so inclined. The other cool thing is that the stock version comes with this grippy inlays, including the original version as well as this one. The design's a little bit different, the grip's a little bit different, but it is the same concept of having these grippy inserts. And you just don't get these on most production Microtechs. Usually it's smooth aluminum frame, and that's it. You know, you don't get anything more than that. So a couple of cool features on the Scarab. I'm glad the blacked out stealth version is super doopy sexy supreme, but I kind of like the classic stonewash drop point like this, because this is the quintessential Scarab. Oh, last but not least, like the coolest thing about the Scarab is the actual Scarab on the frame here. I should have brought down my Lightning OTF. That would be fun. Because the Lightning OTF is a very watered down clone of the Scarab, and you can see the similarities. You have to look very close, but it is technically a Scarab clone. It's just done so, I don't want to say cheaply, but done so dilutedly that it's kind of hard to see the resemblance at this point. This is cool. I actually like this more than I thought I would. Before it got here, I was kind of thinking that I had overpaid, which arguably you could say, yes, objectively I did. However, I love this so much that I don't really care right now. This thing is amazing, and I absolutely love it. And I think this may be too early to say, but I think the Scarab might be my favorite Microtech model. A lot of people don't like it because it's so chunky, but I like it because it's so chunky. I've got big hands. It feels good. I love this button. Super easy to actuate. Fires really hard. Cool, man. I am so glad. So glad I picked this up. These are kind of tricky to come by right now. However, you know, there'll be more. They're going to drop more. I think there's going to be a Tonto coming out here soon. That's going to be awesome. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah. So guys, Microtech Scarab, if you are on the fence about picking one up, I think you should. I think you should. Man, it's just so cool. It's just so, sorry, I was going to shut the video off, but I'm still talking about it. And man, these automatics, I just am in love with automatics right now, obviously. And it's so crazy because it's such a large knife. This is not a full review, although I guess it's turning into one. It's such a large knife, and yet it is not super heavy. The aluminum handle, like it just, 6.1, what? There we go, what are you talking about? 5.5 ounces compared to, let's look at the 8010. I mean, what are we looking at there? 6.5. So the 8010 is a whole ounce heavier, and yet it's actually shorter and has less cutting edge. So, you know. Now, of course, the 8010, did I say 8010? I mean 8015. Of course, the 8015 has a stronger lock and blah, 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 and we could talk about that. But, wow, this is cool. Anodized Type 3, hard anodized aluminum. Oh, it also, I know you guys have bailed by now, but also to go along with the water theme, it has water exit points down here. So drainage. And of course it has the glass breaker for underwater glass. When you're diving and saving people that have gone underwater, that's what you use to do that. All right, guys, I'm out. You take it easy. Love you guys. Leave me comments, likes, all that stuff. It's awesome. All right, guys, bye.